Um, I had a couple of um, sort of topics that I wanted to discuss in terms of avoidant personality disorder. And um, if you've been following all my videos, then you know that I'm putting up book reviews for this year. And one of the ones I just read had a very interesting um, for me, so this is like super personal. I don't know how this would actually apply to other people because I think I'm a little bit off the charts with my attention to this. Um, and that is that everybody has sort of an individual, not only an individual judgment about how things are going in their life, but they all have individual gauges. Um, that just absolutely threw me for a loop, because I kind of know that, but I kind of don't. Um, and what it really resonated with me with, um, I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you've heard it a lot in the past, a lot more, because it was really like affecting me. A couple of years ago, I had that. It's hard to explain. It's more like I was looking for some freedom from my life and did not expect that I would be able to find it in my life. I thought, I had to, go. And one of the reasons, it wasn't one of the reasons, but one of the sort of, hi cat, here comes Pansy, still alive. Whoa, don't. Hi. um, One of the things that I sort of, oh, she's got a lot of claws. One of the things I used, um, was my avoidant personality disorder, as far as being accepted by other people, and that my behaviors seemed horrible and intolerable to people, and on the surface or whatever, they seem much to me by my standard. It seemed like what I was doing was, quantifiably better. I was so thrown um, when Charles Manson got married, and I'm like, what? How could he be eligible for that? And I don't mean like as far as law goes. I mean as far as, he's such a disgusting person. How could somebody want to be in that kind of permanent relationship? Where me, when I go out of my way to try to be helpful and nice to people and quiet and stay in the back and not, cause major ripples, and you know, I was not eligible for it. Um, because that's what avoidant personality does to you. It makes you think that you just can't. You this is a line that you can't cross. Nope, you're not. Like I said, literally, you're not eligible. Things like if somebody is two-faced and lying and manipulative, and that type of person is better than me. But the thing is that what this book did was, I still got that. solid. But as far as the how and why, I mean, it's like, you know, there's a part of me that says, how can these people live with themselves? You know, like my sister is a very outrageous alcoholic. I mean, you know, she causes chaos. Is constantly drinking daily. I mean, she's not like the cause, you know, having car accidents because her husband drives her around, that sort of thing. But it's like she is a barely functioning alcoholic, and I'm like, how can she let herself do that? You know what I mean? And that's why it's because people have a different gauge for themselves. And if somebody comes along and is like, okay, well, this person is okay with themselves, then I'm going to be okay with whatever they're doing too. Seems to be the key. I mean, I just blew past that, but that's gigantic. If somebody else, his pansy's come back. If somebody else is okay with whatever crazy behavior that they've got going on, then other people are going to a degree, as long as it's not absolutely destructive to them personally, they're going to go along with it too and say this is an okay behavior, and this is who they are, this is their quirkiness or whatever, and it's okay. Other people accept it because people accept it, because their gauge is different from mine. You know, it's how, you know, their scale, I mean, they might not even recognize the scale at all, but their scale is different from mine, and they're okay with it. My scale, I'm not okay with it. And so other people pick up on that. And it's not, I mean, it's really hard for me not to do a blame the avoidant, blame the personality disorder, blame the victim thing. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's more like I personally had like this, you know, it was a big deal when I got my diagnosis. I'm like, oh, I'm not, you know, I'm not uniquely broken. I'm not the only one. Unfortunately, there were other people, and then it took me a little while to realize that, yeah, there are other people, and unfortunately a lot of people are going through the same thing I'm going through. But I was not the only one. I had been told I was the only one. I was so strange. But that seems to be it. Other people just don't take responsibility for their gauge. By, you know, they're not looking at it going, okay, well, this is not acceptable, this is outside of the norm. People are just like self-accept, period. And even when they don't completely accept it, they're accepting it a hell of a lot more than people with avoidant personality disorder. People with avoidant personality disorder are aware um all the time. I mean, I know somebody who um, refuses to consider like where they live, like their country, even. Like they won't say, "Yeah, I'm this citizen of this country." They're like, "Yeah, I'm from avoidant personality disorder world," type thing, because it is always something that somebody is self-judging about, always. And if you don't have avoidant personality disorder, you're not doing that. You're not, because you don't self-judge, because you're not being aware of your gauge. You're not being aware that your gauge is, you know, compared to other people. It's like they're like, oh yeah, it's a quirk. Oh yeah, I smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. It's a quirk. I have to smoke. I'm a total bear. I'm a horrible person if I haven't had my cigarette. And you'll just have to accept it because I accept it because that's who I am. I boggles me, but really truly that's what it is. People have different judgments, and they can judge other people more harshly than they can even judge themselves. And they can let themselves go, off the hook for, I mean, this, you've seen US politics. They call it flip-flopping, they call it hypocrisy, they call it all this other stuff, but yeah, that's it. They're going to judge other people much more harshly for things that they are doing that are identical to the things that they themselves are doing. It's the opposite of somebody with avoidant personality disorder. And that, it blew my mind. It was like, wow. Anyway, something to keep in mind. That's the difference. I mean, that's not the only difference, but that's a difference. People have a different gauge by which they judge themselves than people with avoidant personality disorder. And other people, people with avoidant personality disorder, one to the next. Every single person has a different gauge. It never dawned on me. And I don't have to now really focus on why. That drives me crazy that I waste time focusing on why. What's the difference? Why? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is wrong with me? Well, that's one of the things. Check it off the list. I don't have to question exactly how. Like I said, somebody like my sister with her advanced alcoholism gets a free pass for that behavior, but me, I don't. And I'm doing far less destructive and self-destructive things than my sister. Good to know.